Autoline Daily is brought to you by Siemens PLM Software, transforming the process of innovation.
Here are today's top headlines. A bridge loan for the Big Three takes a step closer, GM CEO Rick Wagoner faces calls to resign, and union members oppose a bailout. Up next, we'll be back with the news behind the headlines. This is Autoline Daily for Monday, December 8, 2008, and now the news. A bridge loan to GM, Ford, and Chrysler took a giant step forward over the weekend when House Speaker Nancy Pelosi agreed to tap the $25 billion slated to retool Big Three factories for fuel-efficient cars. Pelosi caved to pressure from President Bush, who did not want the money to come from the $700 billion TARP fund for the finance industry. It's all about politics. The way I read it, Bush wanted to force a split in the Democratic Party between the labor union wing and the environmental wing, which did not want the money earmarked for green cars to be used as a bridge loan. Now, Senator Christopher Dodd from Connecticut, who co-chairs the Senate Banking Committee, is saying GM CEO Rick Wagoner has got to go. He says GM needs a fresh team to restructure, but I think there's more going on behind the scenes. Senator Richard Shelby from Alabama seems to be hinting at a filibuster to prevent the Big Three from getting help. It's all about politics. Senator Dodd may need Rick Wagoner's head on a pike to derail any threats of a filibuster. With gas prices plummeting and big discounts on big SUVs, sales of the big trucks are growing again. On a month-over-month basis, from October to November, Ford Expedition sales were up 30% last month. Cadillac Escalade up 30%, Chevy Suburban up 70%, and the Dodge Durango up 82%. These are the biggest SUVs out there, folks. Oh yeah, remember those hybrids? Last month, sales were down 50% across the board. Okay, the Big Three are begging for a bailout. The credit market collapsed their sales. The market is crashing and their dealers are dying. So who do you think gained market share last month? Yeah, Big Three sales were down, but the Asians and Europeans were down even more. Month over month, the Big Three gained over a point of market share, the Asians lost nearly a point, and the Europeans lost 0.3 of a point. Maybe it's because the Detroit automakers have been through big recessions before and the import brands have not. South Korea is considering cutting taxes on vehicles due to falling sales in that country. According to Wards, taxes on vehicles sold in Korea account for a whopping 25% of the selling price. And the Korea Automobile Manufacturers Association says South Korea's vehicle production is expected to decline 5% this year, the first decrease since 2001. A recent ATI News Zogby poll shows that a majority of Americans are opposed to bailing out the Big Three. No surprise there. Overall, 62% of people surveyed were against it. But incredibly, 58% of union members say they're opposed to loaning money to the Detroit Three automakers. Only 30% of union members approved of the bailout. Whatever happened to solidarity forever? Coming up next in our feature story, a look at Lincoln's redesigned 2010 MKZ. We'll be back right after this.
Siemens, transforming the process of innovation.
Lincoln is refreshing its entry-level sedan for 2010. The company has updated the midsize MKZ with new technology and more confident styling. Designers look to the car's bigger brother, the MKS, for inspiration, especially with exterior styling. You can see it in the sleeker front end, the split grille, and the familiar angular headlights.
At last year's LA Auto Show, you recall we introduced the Lincoln MKS. Now, as our flagship, it shows more than just our commitment to build and strengthen the Lincoln brand. It also fulfills our promise to create a true design identity for Lincoln. A distinct look that people would recognize as unmistakably Lincoln. The MKS was the first product to incorporate that new design language, and it's gratifying to me just how quickly people have accepted Lincoln's new look.
Underneath the new bodywork, the same basic parts carry over. The only powertrain offered is a 3.5-liter V6 with a 6-speed automatic transmission. Surprisingly, even though the engine still makes 263 horsepower, Lincoln says the car is half a second faster from 0 to 60. The redesigned interior also borrows from the MKS. The styling looks similar and the seats are covered in the same premium leather. The 2010 MKZ also offers some added safety features, like a cross-traffic alert system that watches your blind spots when backing out of parking spaces. The redesigned MKZ will probably start arriving at dealerships early next year. Oh yeah, one more thing before we go. Our recent prize giveaways have been so popular that we've decided to open them up to all of our email subscribers. This Friday, you'll have a chance to win some cool Autoline gear with our new trivia contest. So this week, if you can identify who made this vehicle, you'll automatically be entered for a chance to win. We'll pick the winner at random from the list of correct responses, and I'll announce their name on Autoline Daily this Friday. Anyway, that's it for today's show. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.
Visit our website for even more great content all week long. Autoline Extra, Dawn's Journal, podcasts, and even more. So click over and get the inside view at AutolineDetroit.tv.